Hey guys, good evening. It is John C Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Do check out my hat, which says believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. Really appreciate you liking and following all my great content. Do appreciate that. Whether you're here with me at 10:35 p.m., 10:35 a.m., 2 a.m., 2 p.m., or maybe even 6 a.m. or 6 p.m., it doesn't really matter. Thank you so much for being here. Really do appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. All right, guys. So we know what the master topic is for the week, which is did you catch them in a lie today? That's the master topic for the whole week. But the granular topic is do you have an understanding of the different types of lies? We're on series 3, show 25, episode number 2. So there are different types of lies. So what is a white liar? So this is somebody who tells innocent fibs. They're usually told to avoid situations of discomfort. Okay. And um, they usually don't harm anybody. But they are we call them again we basically call them a white liar. And so again, it's a lie about a small or unimportant matter that someone tells to avoid hurting another person. Maybe somebody told you a little white lie as an excuse for missing the party. Didn't harm anybody, but it was a small white lie, we call it. All right. What is a compulsive liar? Well, that's somebody who habitually falsifies, often roots in deeper issues. So, if we need to understand a little deeper, what is, I guess we'll say, a compulsive liar? You've probably seen some of these before in your life. These are people that they just lie. They have something wrong. They tell lies all the time. They tell lies about everything from small things to lies in great details to becoming anxious when talking, getting defensive when questioned or confronted about a lie, telling inconsistent stories, lying for no reason, feeling a rush or no reason, right? To lie, but they lie and feel a rush or high whenever they lie. It's something that people get into. It's a bad habit that they learn. And they just feel like they have to do it over and over and over again because that's the only way they're going to be able to feel good about themselves. All right. There's a next type of liar. We call it a fabrication liar. So a fabrication liar creates false stories from scratch. Yep. That's what a we call it a falsification liar is. Falsification lying is basically they falsify, let's say from the beginning of the story, like, for example, maybe you asked where they were and you were at the mall, for example, but now you said that you were at a baseball game. And so those are pretty, important things to understand. In falsifying, an additional step is taken. Not only does the liar withhold true information, but one presents false information as if it were true. So that's what a liar who is fabricating the truth, right? Sometimes people believe that if you add more details, then you're probably going to be able to, make somebody believe it. That's not always true. What is an exaggeration liar? So, amping up the truth for effect, like maybe, maybe you talk somebody and, you basically, let's say there was an issue whereby there weren't a lot of people. So you say, well, the reason this has worked is because we had more people than we knew what to do with. So they falsified the truth, right, by exaggerating. So that's what we call that an exaggeration liar. And again, an exaggeration liar exaggerates the truth. That's what it is. They embellish the truth, and they can be used as one trying to misrepresent the facts or an intention to fool someone into believing what is false. Lying is a broad term, as we know, while exaggeration is a form of lying. It it's something that a lot of people do because they figure, well, gee, if I exaggerate, it'll seem more believable. But actually, it will just put you in more of a, let's say, hot spot. This lie is done when somebody exaggerates the intent of making it sound like the truth to benefit you. Intentional exaggeration for the purposes of a laugh or a good pub story is probably not so high on the lie scale, but when it's being used to build credibility, well, that's not really very good, right? So there's another type of liar. We call them a deceptive liar. Yes. So intentional falsehoods for personal gain. This is pretty bad. We call it a deceptive liar. So a deceptive liar is somebody that is trying to tell a story, but they take you down a different pathway, one that's not even close. So if you lie, you give one information, but if you are deceptive, then you're basically trying to convince somebody that the lie should be accepted. So you lie if you say something that you believe is false with the intent to deceive about what you say. However, there are two respects in which this definition fails to capture what we're talking about here. First, the definition does not count as a lie. Cases where you intend to deceive your audience about, let's say, you believing what you say rather than what about what you say. Second, it deals with inconsistencies where you say something because you know that your audience does not trust you and will likely conclude that you believe something else. So that's another type of a lie. Pretty interesting, right? These are all different types of lies. I said this whole week we're talking about lies. The next type of lie is a lie by omission, leaving out key details to manipulate the truth. Maybe, let's say you're going to a concert and you go to the concert and let's say you're sitting in a different section than you expect to. And you say, well, I got the tickets. They had a slight challenge and we've got it. But what you forgot to tell was the fact that it actually wasn't their fault. It was your fault. You never had tickets for the concert today, and you went down to the ticket box office to complain your tickets were wrong, but you didn't even have tickets at all. So you lied by omission. You forgot to say that you really never had tickets. All right. There's another lie I want to cover today, and it's called the broken promise lie. Failing to fulfill commitments made to others. Yeah, we call this the broken promise lie. When you make a promise, whether it being somewhere or helping someone, you promise that you would. When you don't follow through with it, with the words that you state, well, then you are lying. A broken promise is to not do what one says they're going to definitely do. A lie is making an untrue statement. We've said that in the very beginning. But breaking a promise lying, that's pretty high up on the scale. When you break a promise because that's just how you are, well, that's a big, big problem, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, a huge, huge problem. That problem will actually get into the fact that maybe, you're not a person of good character, of good moral character. So you bask in the concept of broken promises. And so I want to talk about another type of liar, pathological versus what we call a compulsive liar. Okay. Can you tell the difference between a pathological or a compulsive liar? So a pathological liar lies to get their way and does so with little awareness to what they're doing. They also use it as a coping mechanism to help them live their life. They typically have an APD, an antisocial personality disorder. They have narcissistic personality disorders, NPD. They have an indulgence in lying. A pathological liar is often goal-oriented and focuses one on telling lies to get their way. I knew let's say a friend that was in college, and he pathologically lied. So, for example, we were going into this store one time, and I stopped becoming his friend when I realized his lying could not only be deceitful, but it could get me in trouble. And so I was walking in with him, and all of a sudden, we were walking back out. I was already outside, and he had walked out after me. And so I said, "Did you get anything?" He said, "Yeah." So I said, "What did you get?" He said, "I got a shirt and something else." I said, "Okay." I said, "Yeah." I said, "I was waiting for it to go on sale. It's supposed to go on sale." I said, he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "That's always a pain." He says, "So I got it another way." I said, "What do you mean you got it another way? You got a discount? You had a coupon?" "Well, yes, something like that." So he gets back to the dorm, and I'll just call him Chris. That's not his name. I'll say, "Chris, there's a tag still on here. The security tag from the store." "Oh, yeah, they probably forgot to take it out." Well, I can take it back and have them take it off." "Oh, no, don't worry about it." So I went to the store another time, and I was at the other side of the store. I didn't pay any attention to him, but I wanted to see if my suspicion was right. Well, he actually went into one aisle. He put something in his pocket, and he walked out of the store. And I said to myself, I can't be hanging around somebody like this. When I asked him, "Did you take something without paying for it?" "Oh, of course not. I would never do that." So he pathologically lied. He lied about his studies. He lied about what friends he was meeting. He lied about the fact that he didn't pay for things. He lied about the fact that he was going out with this person. He lied about the fact that he enjoyed something when he didn't. He lied about the fact that he was a friend of mine. And I was like, this is somebody that's good for my nature. And this is definitely somebody I don't want to hang around. And so I realized this is what he did. And the other thing he stole a calculator. And the calculators at the time were, I don't know, they were maybe like $100, $150. So he stole a calculator. He basically was walking out of the store, and he had the tag on his shirt, which I saw one time. It was actually under his collar. And I realized that he's not only a pathological liar, but he's a thief. And I said, I can't hang around with him anymore because I don't want to be subject to this. I mean, here I am trying to do the right thing. And if I hang around him, I might get implicated into thinking that I did that, or that I'm part of that. And so being a pathological liar, you do for a means to an end. You do it so you can survive, not thrive. Okay. So that's a pathological liar. A compulsive liar lies to bend the truth about everything, large or small. A compulsive liar tells the truth in a very awkward and maybe uncomfortable situation, so he or she feels okay with themselves. Compulsive liars are not overly manipulative or cunning. Rather, they simply lie out of habit. They often lie for no clear reason, sometimes for no real benefit. They know the difference between reality and lies, but they're just so hung up in lies. They're more likely to admit to lying when confronted, though this might not stop them continuing to lie. So I think understanding that, people that have pathological lying problems is a serious problem. Pathological liars know how to be confident while lying and use their pathological lying trait as a defense mechanism. As they fix their gaze upon you or look away, they might try to act all macho and tough. But at the end of the day, it's coming down to what's going on. And I think that's the biggest thing is, what's going on. And what's going on is something that I feel a lot of people don't understand. They don't understand that a compulsive liar lies. So I had another, I call an acquaintance, lived in my neighborhood, And he was a compulsive liar about being who he was, but he was also a pathological liar. So why do I say that? Well, because his lies, when you didn't believe them, he got a little forceful, and he got abusive, and he would name call some of this. It's like, this isn't a friend. So people sometimes have a lying problem, and then when you figure them out, they decide that you're not somebody they want to be around. When really they can't figure out like who they are. And so the fact that you're just trying to figure out the truth, now they're trying to tell you that it's none of your business. So that's a big problem. Some symptoms of pathological liars are that they lie to gain something, exaggerate things. They keep on changing the story, and they live in a false sense of reality. So my one friend here that I had known, he would keep changing the story. I'm like, remember you told me you were over there? You just told me you went to the store to get a T-shirt. Now you told me you went to get a calculator. Which was it? Well, I went to get both. It's really none of your business. Well, I understand it's none of my business. I was just asking you. And so I remember being in the bookstore, and I remember another time he was on the other side of the store. Whenever I saw him, I just kind of went totally away from him because I didn't want to be around him. And he would just steal things from the school's bookstore, from other stores. And I'm like, this is wrong. And he wasn't going to take my advice. I knew that. So I just figured, let me, finish out my acquaintance with him as a roommate for that first year, and really just kind of break away from him, especially don't be around him in the store. This is the kind of person who always bragged. He had so much money. He had everything and anything, but he really was lying in a way to keep up with his lifestyle. I think that's a big problem. And when he would lie, he didn't care if it would hurt anybody else. In fact, the fact that he was, stealing and knowing that he was stealing, that was a problem. But he would go in there and steal all the time, he would just steal like it was nothing. And he never got caught. He was very sly. But I said, I can't hang around somebody like this. And so when you have people that lie, there's a difference between, as I said, the beginning of lying, like just white lying, and there's a difference to when they becoming, really deep into those lies, right? Becoming like compulsive, fabricate, exaggerate, deceptive, lie by omission, or somebody who is one that is a pathological liar. A pathological liar is somebody that has a personality disorder. So you might be asking me, say, so why do people become pathological liars? Is there a reason? It stems from usually an underlying mental health condition. It can be used as a coping or defense mechanism if a person has low self-esteem or to avoid rejection or abandonment. If the changes come on suddenly, it may be a result of a traumatic experience. Do pathological liars realize they're lying? According to mental health experts, many pathological and compulsive liars do believe the stories they're telling. They may have repeated their lies so often that they start to feel true. In fact, some people will begin to get into a pathological state when they, like you're having a conversation with them, and now you're trying to find out like the truth, and they don't want you to know the truth. Well, they'll go in this pathological state, and then they'll start to blame, or they'll start to, let's say, take what's going on with them and make you the reason for the problem. See, that's a really big problem, ladies and gentlemen. So we're just starting to scratch the surface of lying. So now tonight we talked about understanding the common types of lying. We have the white liar, we have the compulsive liar, we have the fabrication liar, we have the exaggeration, we have the deceptive liar, we have the omission lying, we have broken promises, and we also have the one we just talked about, which is one that is very, very, very bad, and that is a pathological liar. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm John C Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's always a privilege, pleasure, and honor to be with you on these fantastic days and evenings. Please do be sure to go to believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. Check out all that great stuff. And be sure to follow me, like me, especially on all the channels, including TikTok. And I'll keep pushing out more great content just for you. So enjoy the rest of your night, ladies and gentlemen. And I will catch you guys, you know when? Tomorrow. So have yourself a fantastic evening. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, lying, it's not all it's chalked up to be. And it might just cause you to lose a friend or perhaps damage that reputation that you work so hard to build. Have a great night, everyone.